The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Clements Lumber is ready to serve you with experienced staff from any of our 4 locations. From agriculture to residential to commercial, no project is too big or too small. See us in Springfield, Redwood Falls, Morgan, or at 201 Railroad Street South in Comfrey.
I'm joined right now by Comfrey sophomore Carter Olson, our athlete of the week this week. Congratulations, Carter.
Thank you.
Well, let's go back to Thursday's game against Hills Beaver Creek. And, Hills Beaver Creek is a team that last season they had 2 of the more dynamic scorers in the conference. One of them happened to be out on Thursday night, and you guys really took advantage of that, especially on the defensive end.
Right.
Tell me about what the game plan was going in to try and slow Baker down a little bit.
We knew that we were going to have to stop his penetration and just keep the ball out of his hands.
I think it was almost a 10-minute stretch in that first half where you guys held them without a point. This season, Coach Nass has kind of made more of a strategy move to focus more on the defensive end because you guys have so much depth. And it was about a 10-minute stretch where you held them scoreless on Thursday night. What was the key during that stretch?
Just we had to stay focused and just keep the energy. We just stayed strong throughout that and just kept taking it to him, kept the ball out of his hands. And
offensively, though, for this season for you guys, you had a lot of options, and that's got to be nice when you've got 8, 9, 10 guys who can all score, and it's not necessarily that anybody needs to score 20 points a night.
Right.
What's that been like for you this season? Most of the guys had a little bit of varsity experience from last season, but maybe a little bit different role this year. What's that been like to adjust to for you?
It's nice to just know that I can count on them to, I can give them the ball and not worry about them making dumb mistakes. They just know what to do with the ball at all times.
Mm-hmm. And you guys really do a good job of making that extra pass and finding a good open shot.
Yep.
This season, in the early going, it's been a case where you guys, have been able to kind of dictate the tempo. Is that something that having a lot of depth really is allowing you to do?
Yeah, having depth helps us a lot. So we can, sub in and they can play 5 or a couple minutes and then give us a little break.
Mm-hmm. And from your vantage point, I imagine that, as a scorer, that's got to be really important to just kind of keep your legs as fresh as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last season you came in as a freshman, basically, a full-time starter almost from day one. What's been the biggest transition or biggest change in your game from last year to this year?
My shot. Last year I struggled shooting a lot, but this year I've definitely improved on that. Mm-hmm. Getting my confidence.
And of course it's a little bit of a different situation for you because you go to Comfrey, you play football with the guys in Springfield all fall, and then come winter you're coming down to Mountain Lake. What's that adjustment like for you?
I like it a lot. Springfield kids treat us nice, and same with Mountain Lake. They love us, so it's nothing but good for us.
Looking ahead, you guys get to see those Springfield teammates next week.
Yep.
That's going to be really interesting for you.
Yeah.
I imagine, those guys after feeding you the ball all fall, they're going to have to transition to trying to keeping it away from you.
Yeah.
But what do you know about Springfield as a team this year, and what are you looking forward to taking on the guys that you play football with?
They got they got some depth too. They got some good shooters, so we just have to keep the ball out of the point guard's hand, and I just look forward to playing against them, I guess. Just beat them.
And then, of course, after the first of the year, you guys really dive into a conference-heavy schedule. And, boy, the Red Rock Conference this year looks pretty solid. And, I imagine, the Southwest Christian games are going to be pretty high on the list for you guys.
Yeah. My most memorable sports moment is probably when we beat MCW with the last-second Hail Mary. I have Lil Baby and Drake. I don't have a player in general, but the team is probably Southwest Christian. A funny guy. Just someone you can count on, I guess. I like to fish and hang out with my friends and do stuff with them.
Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a big win last week. Best of luck the rest of the way. Have a good Christmas, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Clements Lumber is ready to serve you with experienced staff from any of our 4 locations. From agriculture to residential to commercial, no project is too big or too small. See us in Springfield, Redwood Falls, Morgan, or at 201 Railroad Street South in Comfrey.